As you can see, Flopsy is hobbled. I thought I had trained the jumpiness out of her, but I'm having to hobble her like I did last year, which is just one extra step, but I was hoping to train her to where she didn't need hobbles. But she's giving a lot of milk. We started separating the babies from the mamas a few days ago, and we're getting almost a gallon from our 2 goats that are in milk. Many of you have asked when Moonbeam is going to have her babies, and the answer is I don't know. Every day I check her ligaments, and they're still pretty nice and strong. You'll feel pencils. And then I check her udder to see if there's any change, and I mean, it's beginning to fill, but it's nowhere near ready for babies. And then every now and then we just feel her belly because we've felt the babies kick a couple times. Or I think there's just one baby in there. At least we think that's what we're feeling, right? Yeah. Yeah. But of course she gets her alfalfa every morning. You see your babies?
It's time to eat.
Good morning. And everyone finds their mommy. Good morning, Lucky. Are you not hungry? Oh, there we go. So we separate the babies at night for about 12 hours from the moms, and then in the morning they get to come back together, and it's the sweetest thing in the world. And of course they have water and hay to nibble on in their stall all night. And interestingly, I have done this now for 3 years, and usually the first couple nights the babies cry and the mamas cry, but this time they didn't at all. Like, no one even seems to mind that they're separated. So it's kind of a nice plus of this year's kids. Good morning. And people are always worried, how do you milk out the mamas and then the babies get milk? But the mamas save milk for the babies. Oh, good morning. Where are you going?
I called her before she called me.
Are you serious? That is so funny.
I call her at 8:01. Because I saw they left Greenville at 11:30 last night.
Okay, cool.
Come on, buddy, let's
Here,
go.
you want to take this camera? I'll finish with the animals.
They look all good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Is there one? Oh, there's one dead one, it looks like.
Oh. Yeah.
They're beautiful though. Alright, let's get these guys home and get them. Pretty cute, aren't they?
They're way cuter than
They're
I thought.
huge.
One of them is
This one's
I know.
eating. I just taught this one how to eat. I'm just holding it in its mouth.
Oh.
It's a goose, buddy.
Oh yeah, Goose.
Oh.
Put it back in the box. Let's get
Alright,
the brewer
thank you.
ready.
This one is.
Dip their beaks in water. This one came dead. So we have 7 living Emden geese. I've wanted to have a little flock of geese for a long time because they're so self-sufficient. They basically will feed themselves as much as any farm animal from a couple acres of land or less. And we're putting them in a brooder inside for probably just 2 days, and then we'll move them out into the big brooder outside. They are eating and drinking for the very first time after making a long journey. We've got Alice in the stand. In yesterday's video, we talked to you about her having a high somatic cell count, which can be indicative of early mastitis. She doesn't really have clinical mastitis, I don't think, from her symptoms. Her milk looks really good, her udder looks really good. But we're gonna go ahead and treat this, and we're treating it through a natural method we learned about from Justin and Rebecca Rhodes. It's supposed to actually be highly effective. This company has a bunch of great products, so we're injecting one into her udder, into that affected quarter. One she takes orally, and the other is like a bag balm. I'm also gonna just use really good hygiene, as we always do, because we're drinking this milk, you know. What's good for us is good for her, right? I may need to put you guys up if you're gonna get in the way or distract the cow. Speaking of good hygiene, she just pooped on the stand. Now he's nursing, so I've got to clean udder again. So he will probably help me let that milk down. Buddy, you gotta scoot over, it's my turn. You gotta scoot over, dude. Come on. He's not afraid of me, come on. It's my turn. We'll start by milking out that 1/4, and then I'll wash my hands before I wash the others, before I milk the others. You're loud, little booger. Stand still, girl. I'm gonna clean this teat really good back here with alcohol. Pretty important when you're sticking something in it. Just slowly putting this up in there. We'll massage that up into the teat a little bit. It all stayed in, that's what we want. That was way easier than I thought it was gonna be. We actually stuck this little sterile tip up into her teat and injected it with this stuff. Last step is this cow cream designed for high somatic cell count, flaky milk. Let's try it. And we're just gonna massage it into that quarter, especially over there. The last thing is fly spray, and she dislikes this fly spray. She doesn't wiggle as much as before, but I'm gonna get her while she's in here and can't run off of me, so I can get her coated down everywhere for the day. And we'll let her out. I know she's happy to be out. All right, get back out to pasture. She's like, I'm out of here, done with that. Babies can come out. Come on, babies. And goats can come out now. Everyone out, back to the grass where you belong. Get out of the barn. Okay, that went really, really well. I was worried about it. It did take forever, so she had a little trouble standing. We've got to do that 2 more times to complete this treatment. How are you?
Oh, I'm hot. Feels good though.
Good. We're showing Grandma and Grandpa my parents, or the cow and the new calves. This day is just about winding down, but I'm gonna take these little goslings outside and let them get a taste of grass. Why, if we want these animals to be self-sufficient, why would we keep them in a brooder with just straw or chips? Why would we just keep them in when they can learn from this day, day number one, how to get food and get their little digestive tracts used to eating grass? These birds are hardwired for foraging, and you'll see them even try to catch a bug. If a bug's flying by, they'll go for it. They'll try to get it. These babies are about 3 days old now, and this is exactly what they'd be doing in their mother's careful care. They'd be under their mother, and then they'd be out in the open eating, and then they'd be under their mother. So this is what they'd be doing if they're raised by a mother, is having spells out in the normal temperature, eating food. Well, folks, thanks for joining us today. We have some amazing new additions to our little homestead menagerie. And this has been another great day on the homestead. And we'll see you really soon.